Market tickers are flashing red across the globe. Crude oil prices are surging toward record highs, and a severe fertilizer shortage is pushing the cost of basic food supplies beyond the reach of millions. These economic shocks are the direct fallout of the escalating military conflict between the United States, Israel, and Iran. The human cost is already severe. Iran's health ministry reports over 1,500 Iranian casualties, while the conflict has also claimed the lives of 13 U.S. military members and at least 20 Israelis. Desperate to calm the markets and stop the bloodshed, the international community has pushed for a ceasefire. Washington recently put forward a 15-point peace proposal aimed at de-escalating the crisis, but Tehran has rejected the offer, calling it excessive. By refusing these terms, Iran ensures this localized war translates into a prolonged economic squeeze for the rest of the world. Iran's refusal to negotiate stems from the events of February 28th. U.S. and Israeli strikes killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, along with top-ranking military and government officials. For Tehran, that loss, combined with what Iranian officials describe as past American deceptions during negotiations, drove their trust in Washington to zero. This diagram illustrates the core logic of Washington's 15-point proposal. The U.S. is offering a return to pre-war containment by lifting certain economic sanctions, in exchange for Iran agreeing to roll back its nuclear program and accept limits on its missile capabilities. The plan also demands that Iran reopen global shipping lanes and restrict its financial and military support for regional armed groups, the local militias funded by Tehran across the Middle East. Washington's proposal is designed to restore the old status quo, but after losing its highest-ranking leader, the Islamic Republic views a simple return to the way things were as unacceptable. Instead of accepting peace on American terms, Iran has countered with 5 strict conditions aimed at securing regional dominance. First, Tehran demands a complete end to all U.S. and Israeli military aggression and assassinations. Second, they want concrete, enforceable safeguards put in place to prevent any future military strikes against the Islamic Republic. Third, Iran expects clear and guaranteed financial compensation for the losses and damages caused by the war. Fourth, they are insisting that any ceasefire apply to all fronts, protecting every active resistance group across the Middle East. Finally, Iran demands formal international recognition of its absolute sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. This is the heaviest counterweight in the entire negotiation. This satellite image shows the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway where a fifth of the world's oil is shipped. To force the U.S.'s hand, Iran is physically backing up this final demand. Tehran is now enforcing its claim by slapping a $2 billion fee on the strait and banning the passage of any ships linked to the U.S. or Israel. By weaponizing this specific maritime corridor, Iran cuts off vital energy routes, causing the massive spikes in global oil and fertilizer prices hitting global markets. This conflict is a direct struggle to rewrite the legal and territorial rules of the Middle East. The deadlock is mathematically difficult to resolve. The United States cannot agree to grant a hostile power sovereignty over a shipping lane that fuels the global economy. At the same time, Iran refuses to accept mere containment after the targeted killing of its head of state. Furthermore, by insisting on a blanket ceasefire for its allies, Iran has tied the survival of all regional resistance groups directly to its own willingness to lay down arms. As a result, the diplomatic process is frozen. After the second round of talks failed here in Geneva, Iranian officials stated that no further negotiations will take place until all 5 of their conditions are met. Until one side decides to abandon its core strategic objectives, the peace talks will remain at a standstill, and as long as the diplomats remain deadlocked, the global economy will stay caught in the crossfire.